Have you ever caught yourself reminiscing about the good old days of Xbox 360 and Xbox Live? You know, the era that redefined gaming as we know it. From the thrill of quickscoping on Rust to the agony of the Red Ring of Death, we're diving deep into an era that was more than just games, but a lifestyle. By the end of this video, you'll either be dusting off your old 360 or just kicking yourself for ever getting rid of it. Ah, the dreaded Red Ring of Death. Just hearing those words probably sends a shiver down your spine. Remember turning on your Xbox 360 and instead of that comforting green glow, you're greeted with a terrifying red ring. Yeah, it was like the console's way of saying game over, buddy. From wrapping your console in towels to blowing fans at it, we all had our own myths and rituals to keep the red ring at bay, and most of them didn't really work. And it was usually the older console models that had the issue. Let's not forget the pilgrimage to the repair shop, praying to the gaming gods that it could be revived. For some of us, it was Endgame, and for others, a rebirth, a new console rising from the ashes of the old. In simpler terms, more money to waste. How many times did the red ring haunt your console? Share your horror stories in the comments below. Ah, the Call of Duty era. One where friendships were tested, legends were born, and trash talk was basically an art form. Remember the endless nights of quickscoping with the intervention? Man, those were the days. If you had a disagreement with a friend, you didn't settle it with words or the old-fashioned way with fists like when you're a man. As a kid on Xbox Live, you settled it with a quickscope showdown on Rust. It was like a duel in the Wild West, only with sniper rifles and a bunch of kill streaks. But it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Oh no, we had our share of hacked modded lobbies. XP lobbies where you'd sometimes unwittingly just join a friend on Xbox Live and then suddenly you're being injected with thousands of free XP points and level ups and unlocks, and just hoping you don't get banned the next day. Or you got to play modes like zombies. It was like the wild frontier of gaming, and these lobbies were just super cool. And if you knew the right spots online, you could get into them if you could find a host, which was usually just on some underground forums. And who could forget the journey through the prestiges, capped off with that elusive spinning 10th prestige skull token. That was like a badge of honor back in the Mod 2 days, your virtual Medal of Valor. Iconic maps like Rust weren't just arenas, they were battlefields that told stories. Epic comebacks, heartbreaking defeats, and moments of pure unadulterated skill, like on Search and Destroy mode. I mean, who could forget the time when you pulled off that impossible 360 no-scope to win the game? I wouldn't say I was some kind of breakout sniping player, but everybody wanted to be the next FaZe Clan member. I mean, there's a reason why there's montage parodies after all. There were some crazy and hilarious moments on Xbox Live, but let's not forget about all of those Call of Duty sniping edits. Clans like FaZe and Optic and the battles between them, and how every kid wanted to be in a sniper clan. I could probably attribute every single one of my friends to being someone that created COD sniper edits on the computer. Let's switch gears to the Halo era. Halo 3 and Halo Reach in particular, because they weren't just games, they were experiences that could rival blockbuster movies. We're talking about co-op campaigns that were like intergalactic road trips with your best mates. And who could forget split screen marathons, tackling mission after mission with your buddies right next to you. And yes, we all know that one guy who used split screen to cheat in multiplayer. Admit it, some of you watching right now were that guy. But hey, all's fair in love and Halo, right? Custom games were the stuff of legends though. There were some amazing nostalgic maps on Bungie.net like Raccoon City, which was a map on Halo 3's Foundry that was like a maze, designed for zombie modes. Firefight mode, Forge, it was all a world brimming with creativity. I remember as a kid I trolled the neighbor's kid, and he'd never played Halo before, and he'd never even seen Forge or understood what it was, so I just kept prop killing him and just blaming the Guardians or my brother, and it was pretty hilarious. And the collectibles. Remember hunting down those elusive skulls or desperately grinding campaign heroic and legendary achievements, just trying to unlock that coveted Halo 3 recon armor? Speaking of which, I actually saved modded my achievements to get that armor, and let's just say my friends were super jealous, and the few that I actually told all wanted me to help them do it. Yeah, I was that guy. But it wasn't just about the games, it was also about the moments that made them special, like that time that you finally beat the campaign on legendary difficulty, or when you pulled off that jaw-dropping aerial assassination in Reach. These were the milestones that turned players into legends. The 360 era was jam-packed with so many iconic games and franchises, titles that became instant classics. Gamertags. Who could forget the surreal worlds of BioShock, the criminal underbelly of Grand Theft Auto 4, or the visceral action of Gears of War? GTA 4's online mode on Xbox 360 though was so good. Not many people remember it, but in its heyday, playing GTA 4 free roam online was incomparable even to GTA 5 on PC, and it wasn't littered with as many hackers either. One topic that had people's blood boiling back in the day was console exclusives and the PlayStation versus Xbox wars. There were those kids in school that owned PlayStations, those who owned Xboxes, and that one rich kid who just boasted about owning both. Xbox had Gears of War, Halo and Forza, meanwhile PlayStation had hits like God of War, Uncharted and Little Big Planet. And to be honest, Little Big Planet was a vibe. I remember seeing that at my friend's house one time, and it was genuinely the only PlayStation game that I felt like I was really missing out on by only owning an Xbox. It wasn't just about games though, it was like picking a side in a war that had no real winners, just passionate defenders. You chose your side and you stuck with it. Or you were a glory supporter like those football fans who just sit in the middle and choose their favourite club based on who wins each season, flip-flopping back and forth when it suits you best. There are also those special edition consoles that were designed to make you drool with envy. The Halo and the Gears of War vinyl ones, for example, were just super cool. These weren't just gaming machines, they were statement pieces, extensions of who you were as a fan, and for the record, the Halo 3 Collector's Edition with that tin box and the lore book was an absolute masterpiece. I remember picking it up secondhand from a Keck store. They really went the extra mile back in the day just to include some really cool fan pieces if you paid premium. Remember the Halo Reach Blue Flame helmet? That was like the golden ticket. You had to sign up to the new Bungie.net app at the time and you were on a limited time frame. You had I think like a week or so to get it. If you had an iPhone and you signed up, it was like getting into some kind of secret society, and barely anyone that I knew even had a clue about it, and once you had it, you were the envy of all your friends. I even remember trolling a kid into believing that my dad worked at Bungie. In fact, probably a few, and they actually believed it. It was an absolute classic. But other franchises also had their fair share of collectibles too. For an example, the Gears of War Lancer replicas, the Assassin's Creed Hidden Blades, and even those Call of Duty night vision goggles. They were gimmicks, but they were kind of fun gimmicks that people loved to collect. And like I mentioned before, the collector's editions of some of these games were like treasures, filled with things like art books, soundtracks, and sometimes even action figures. What's the coolest or rarest gaming collectible that you own from the Xbox 360 era? Let me know in the comments below. Let's not forget the most entertaining aspect of the 360 era, the social experience. I'm talking about party chat, memes, raging, and all those unforgettable moments in between. Who can forget hopping into party chat with your squad? But it wasn't always peaceful. We all had that one friend who went absolutely ballistic over a lost game or a stolen kill, the Rager.
Why don't you shut the f*** up, douchebag?
Oh, snap.
You're 17, you live with your mom, so shut the f*** up.
Why don't you just shut the f*** up?
My friend Andy still lives with his mother too.
Remember the hilarious voice messages?
Oh, you are so f***ing big. Let's take a f***ing horseshoe up that ass, baby. Come over, oh la la. Come to me, spanky spanky.
You are proper cheating. Quickscoping is cheating to start with, but the way you are quickscoping, that is way too quick. Reported. 10 people it is to get you banned, and I've got 10 people, mate. Report.
The trash talk and the open lobby mic chat that turned every multiplayer match into a comedy show.
Your mom wiped your ass long enough that
I don't care, dude.
Oh, f off, you don't care. That's bullshit,
I don't
bro.
care. I don't care, man.
That's bullshit.
Dude, do you know that she oh, you don't even know, dude.
Now you're really starting to piss me off. You teabag me one more time, I'm gonna come to your house and kill you with my bare hands, you fat nigger. Give me your address and I'll come and kill you.
Now those were the golden days of gaming banter, and that's why I miss 360 the most. Then there were the memes, the cultural currency of the 360 days, like teabagging the bodies of your enemies or phrases like press F to pay respects, stuff that literally just became a part of our daily language online, more than just jokes, but kind of like a shared language that everyone references nowadays. Remember picking out your first gamer tag? It was like getting a tattoo but without the needles or the regret. threat. It was your identity in this vast digital landscape, and if you had no clue, you could just have it auto-generated for you. And Microsoft would give you some randomly generated names that were just hilarious, like Painted Cardboard 25571. Some of those gamer tags though were absolute pure gold, and some custom ones people had were funny, clever, and just pure weird. Then also you had the avatars. They were kind of like digital versions of you that you could dress up and decorate. The best part though are the fact that some of them were unlocked through achievement hunting in games, so not only did you get the bragging rights, but some virtual swag to show off too. You'd always ask your friends like, how did you get that Master Chief helmet for your avatar? Speaking of achievements though, let's talk gamer scores, because they weren't just arbitrary numbers, they were kind of like a measure of your gaming skill. The higher the score, the more respect you could command. Plus the achievement pop-ups and their sounds were like music to the ears. I wish other platforms nowadays would do this, particularly Steam on PC. Imagine if you could just show off your achievement score on Steam on your profile. Not just the achievements like you can do, but more of a point system like what Xbox had. It'd add that whole same level of competition and bragging rights that would actually encourage people to actually unlock them. Your gamer score was kind of like social capital on Xbox. It was the social currency on Xbox Live. It displayed prominently on your profile, which kind of served as a badge of honor. A high gamer score could earn you respect. But let's be real, some of us, including me, couldn't resist the temptation to mod those scores to artificially inflate the numbers. Risky? Not really. Worth it? Sometimes. Then there was the Xbox Marketplace. It was kind of like a one-stop shop for blockbuster DLCs and hidden indie gems, which was a literal treasure trove. Whether you're looking for map packs for Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer or just a bunch of new cars for Forza Motorsport, it had you covered. But Xbox was responsible for a lot of small breakout games. It was kind of like a breeding ground for indie games that most of us probably wouldn't have discovered otherwise. Games like Doritos Crash Course, which was as silly as it was addictive. Fun fact, I actually once modded my Crash Course times to be number 1 on the leaderboard. Impossible times in mere seconds, and let me tell you, it was glorious. I had a lot of friends from school asking me how on earth I finished the levels in record times too. The DLC packs were good, whether it was the zombie map packs for Call of Duty World at War, like Verrucht, the Insane Asylum, Shi no Numa, the Japanese Swamp of Death, or Der Reiser, the Giant, a sci-fi fueled German space rocket map, or the legendary Shivering Isles expansion for the Elder Scrolls Oblivion. DLCs were just the gifts that kept on giving. Well, maybe except for Oblivion's Horse Armors DLC, but we don't talk about that. Did you have a favourite indie game or DLC pack from the marketplace? Let me know in the comments. Remember searching for Easter eggs? Kind of like the Halo skulls. Finding an Easter egg was like striking gold, be it a secret room, hidden message, or cameo from another game. Rushing to YouTube to either share what you discovered or see who else stumbled upon it was the thing to do. And a lot of these glitch YouTubers always lied and made up glitches that didn't even exist. And the glitches, those unintentional quirks that could ruin your game or make it hilariously entertaining, like floating through walls or in midair, accumulating infinite ammo. Glitches were kind of like the wild cards of the 360 days. But it was thanks to YouTube that made them a phenomena. People uploaded them and suddenly there was kind of like a whole community of detectives which shared tips and tricks to uncover or exploit the hidden layers of the game, or sprout conspiracy theories, or just chat about what the hidden meanings behind them meant. Which is why Call of Duty glitches became like a huge niche on YouTube in the old days. And it was a golden age for gaming channels where anyone with a capture card and some editing skills could become a star. And if you were poor like I was, too poor to get an Elgato, then perhaps you had to settle for a cheap card off eBay, like the Easy Cap. Like in this clip of me recording me playing Guitar Hero 3 pretty badly at my best mate's house back in the day, because the capture card only let me play on like a 144p resolution screen, so I couldn't even hit any of the notes. Remember picking out a new theme for your dashboard, whether it was a dynamic theme from your favourite game or some epic artwork? It was a way to make your console uniquely yours, and some of these themes were pretty cool. But it didn't stop there. The 360 era was also a golden age for accessories. Who could forget the chat pad, that tiny keyboard accessory that made messaging so much easier? Or how about those Turtle Beach headsets? If you had one of those, you were basically royalty. It might seem silly now, but at the time those accessories were game changers. They kind of added like a new layer of immersion and convenience to sessions, elevating them from mere pastime to more of an experience. And here's the thing, the dashboard themes and accessories were more than just aesthetic choices, they were statements. If you weren't rich like me, then you had to settle for one of those cheap pound shop mobile microphones that you had to just wedge into the mic slot in the Xbox controller. Some of them worked, albeit with terrible audio quality and you having to just hold it in while playing, and some of them just just had the wrong connectors, so it was basically a lucky dip to see if you could get a microphone that worked for cheap. But it was the memorable lines which really made things for me online, especially in games like Halo, like when you were playing Team SWAT mode and you just shout boom headshot when you got a kill.
My heart's beating, my hands are shaking, but I'm still shooting, and I'm still getting the headshots. It's like boom headshot, boom headshot, boom headshot.
Or when you nailed the perfect sniper kill. But the announcer sounds like double kill, triple kill, and Kilimanjaro in Halo just made you feel like an absolute champion when you got a kill streak.
Double kill, triple kill, overkill, kill-tacular, kill-trocity, Kilimanjaro, kill-tastrophe, kill-pocalypse, killionaire.
And terms like noob, camping, and rage quit were kind of synonymous with the Xbox, and it was like a hidden language, especially to older people who probably were just wondering like if their child was challenged or just speaking Swahili. There was also the modding scene on Xbox, which I've kind of briefly touched on, but it was something I was kind of part of back in the day. You could plug your hard drive in with a connector to the computer and use save game editor tools to actually modify your saves. For example, you can modify single player saves to give yourself God mode or infinite ammo, or you can modify your profile file to actually give yourself boosted achievement numbers. And certain games didn't have their data server side, so you could actually mod the info to give yourself cheats online too. We even saw people mod the old Team Fortress 2 and Call of Duty 4 back in the day to give themselves God mode and infinite ammo online, but later they patched that. I distinctly remember a bunch of tools. There was Modio, which had save game editors for so many different games, and then there was also Horizon, which was kind of like a competitor which had loads of mods on too. It was more of an underground scene, but save game modding was a huge thing. And then also there was the whole JTAG and RGH systems. These were modded or chipped Xboxes, which allowed people to run unsigned and modified cheat code on the systems, kind of like what you can do on computer when you cheat on games. It allowed you to actually upload custom files to your hard drive and test mods and cheats. And some people use these online. For an example, they'd get a different key from a console to go online with cheats, and when they get banned, they just got another console key from another console to allow them to go online again until they got banned. It was kind of a crazy thing, and there was some insane mods for games, especially Halo. I remember going on YouTube and seeing people with these crazy Halo 3 and Halo Reach mods, where they were jumping in the air with no gravity, making crazy different vehicles that looked like something out of Forge mode, and just aimbotting everyone online, and they were cheats that I wanted. I remember when I was like 12 years old, I tried to get a modded JTAG Xbox online off some forum, and I paid I think £40 from some shady gaming forum, and some guy sent it to me, and when it arrived it just absolutely stunk of beer and it made me sick for like a month. And it also had the red ring of death, so let's just say I kind of got karmed for trying to cheat on a game. We've laughed, we've raged, and we've relived some of the best moments of the Xbox's history. The Xbox wasn't just a machine, it was a cultural phenomenon, and it was the root to so many stories and experiences that will stay with us forever. Whether you are a hardcore gamer chasing achievements or a more casual player who loved to host some custom games on Halo, there was something for everyone. For me, the retirement of the Xbox 360 though was kind of the end of an era, the end of the console era, but console culture still holds strong to this day. Despite its end though, the spirit of the 360 lives on, in every quickscope session, every co-op campaign, and every late night gaming session with the boys. It's a chapter in our lives we'll always reflect back on with fondness and a sense of wonder. Do you have any dear memories from the 360 and Xbox Live days, or any hilarious or wild tales to share? Let me know about them in the comments. I'd love to hear them. But stop, before you go, if you enjoyed this nostalgia trip, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more feel-good videos like this one on the channel. Thanks for watching.